Tell me if you relate to this scenario. You haven't been to a certain business for a while, maybe a restaurant or store, whatever. And so then you go and look up what hours of the day it's open, and then you see permanently closed on Google. You see that business went out of business, maybe even a long time ago, maybe like a year or two ago. And you're only now realizing this. And you're overcome with sadness in a very, very strange way. Because it obviously wasn't that important to you. It wasn't like you demanded that it be there because you needed the patronage, you know? Whatever it had to offer, you could obviously live without. And there's still something sad about it being gone. For a number of reasons that we could go into, but it's this weird situation of I never visited, but I still wanted it to be there, even if I never went to it ever again. It gave me some comfort knowing that that thing was just sitting there. And there's a level of dissonance that I feel knowing that it is not so anymore. I've heard it said that to be aware of something is to love it. There might be a spectrum of love where it's like, it's not as intense of a love as you feel for like a close family member or something. But for something to just fall into your awareness. There's some level of affection that we have for it. I think a lot of the emotional turmoil that we go through and that we're talking to our therapists about is that we have a level of love for something that is clouded by all these complicated feelings that arise on top of that love. Yeah, I loved that restaurant that I went to, I don't know, maybe 3 times in my life. Or I loved that business that I never even set foot into. Maybe I just liked that it was something on the side of the road to pass. I liked the sign. It was a cute sign. Maybe it had some cartoon animals on it or something. And it's off-putting to see that sign not be there and for where that business used to be to just be covered in graffiti. It's just a graffiti spot now. Not to bring it to this level of importance, because that's not what the video is about, but, you know, some people from my high school that I wasn't friends with, but had some interactions with, relatively pleasant interactions with. A few of those people have passed away in the 12 years since I've graduated, going on 13. And just the same. You know? We probably were never going to speak ever again. And yet it makes me sad that you're not out there anymore, doing whatever you were doing. That can be reassuring sometimes, that the extent of caring that people give to one another goes well beyond what they actually say or display to one another. You know, it's almost like just to exist is to be cared for. Yeah, and it is a privilege. It's a privilege to be cared for, and it's a privilege to care for other things. Like was said in that Nicolas Cage movie, Pig, we don't get a lot of things to really care about. But I would argue that we can care just a little bit more about everything that's already around us, that we can be not as caring of. Either the world will give me something to deeply care about by default, or I will cultivate that caring myself.